Hey guys, welcome to another Jamaican Tales video, a Jamaican living in Germany. Yeah, it's the third video about the Jamaican e-passports, the new e-passports. And in this video, I'm gonna do somewhat of an unboxing video or unpacking video. Who does something like that for a passport? So just stick around, I'll show you the features of the new Jamaican e-passports and what to expect when you finally get your hands on one of these. It's time to open up this book right here and see what's inside of it. Okay, I'm getting too excited about this. I'm so weird. They're referred to as e-passports or sometimes biometric passports because they have a chip that is embedded in the passport, which pretty much contains the information that is printed in the passport. So it's like a digital copy of the information that you see on the passport and sometimes some additional information as well. And Jamaica is joining the block of more than 150 different countries across the world and even 11 countries within the Caribbean and the CARICOM region that actually have e-passports already. So it's definitely the right move to make, and this will definitely simplify a lot of travel across the world by just showing that, hey, this is an e-passport. This is the new e-passport and this is my older passport. So just looking at them, you can already see that there's one difference, and that is that we now have the e-passport logo that's printed on the passport. All the different countries across the world that have these e-passports is the same thing. They also have this logo right here. When you just compare both of them, it's pretty much the same thing. Nothing else has changed. The only difference is that the information that was on the older passport just got pushed up a bit. In terms of the look and feel, it's pretty much the same thing. Just looking at the passport like from this side, you actually see that there's a significant difference, and it's the thickness of the cover of the passport. I would even estimate that the new passport covers are probably twice as thick as the older ones. So there's like some reinforcement right there, it's white, and then on top of it you have the actual, I guess this is leather cover of the passport. And when you open up the passport, you also recognize the thickness and you recognize the sturdiness of the passport cover. The fact that the passport cover is like about maybe twice as thick as the older passport sends off the alarm bells in my head. It's interesting that in the interviews about the new e-passport that I've seen, they didn't want to say if the chip is embedded in the cover or on the photo page. It is clear it's embedded in the cover of the passport. That can be the only reason why it's so thick. And I mean, the photo page is pretty much similar to the older version, so there is no way that there's a chip that's embedded there. And when you open up the passport, like one of the main things that you see there is that it says this passport contains sensitive electronics. For best performance, please do not bend, perforate, or expose to extreme temperatures or excess moisture. It's an electronic passport, so you want to keep it away from the elements. And this cover, you don't want to bend it. Yeah, don't do anything too crazy with it, because then if you do that, then you would damage the chip. If the chip is damaged to some extent, the passport is also damaged. When they actually do read the chip and they can't actually access the information on it, then the alarms are gonna go off and they're like, why can't we do this? And they're gonna ask you to just come with them to a special room. So yeah, be careful about that. Yeah, if there's a chip in it, then people can read the information on the chip. It's not that easy. It's not like somebody can just, you know, scan your passport on the go. There are different layers of security to prevent stuff like that. That's not something that you necessarily need to worry about. Apart from this notification, everything else on these two pages, the inner side of the cover and the first page of the passport, they're the same. It's also the same 48 pages that are in the passport. I actually never recognized that there was like a version number or a version year for the passport. So at the bottom of the first page, it shows you, okay, this is like from version 2022. Let's go on to the next page. Comparing the older version of my passport to what we have now, they removed the occupation, which was always kind of weird, because then going to certain countries and they look and say, oh, you're an IT specialist. And one of the main differences, of course, is that the e-passport logo is also on the photo page. It's just restructuring that happened really. They put, for example, the signature in a different position, and they added, for example, the name of PICA, the authority that issues the passport, instead of just having the logo there. Of course, when you like move the passport in the light, then you can actually see the holograms and the different security features that are embedded within the passport. Another thing that stood out to me is also that the passport type is no longer just P. So in the older version, it was SP, but now it's PA. I'm not sure what the A stands for, but the passport number still is just one letter followed by these 7 digits. I'm very, very disappointed though. When they didn't want to tell if the new passport has the chip embedded in the cover or in the photo page, I was like, I hope it's embedded in the photo page, because There are a lot of other passports across the world. What they do is that for the photo page, it's actually like an ID card. So it's a polycarbonate material, which is like thick, just like an ID card or a credit card. Not like what we have in the Jamaican passport, where it's just like a very, very thin plastic that you can fold and roll. I was really hoping that it would be like one of those type of passport with the polycarbonate, because I don't know, I just think it looks way more official and way more legible, and that's why I don't think that the chip is actually embedded in the photo page. Scrolling through the pages, it's the same old. You have all the other 47 pages for your visas and for your stamps. Going to the back of the passport is also the very same thing. So you have the contact information that you can write in. I probably should fill this out. I didn't do this in my older passport. All the notes that are there, for example, about dual citizenship, about, you know, things that you should be cautious about, registration at consulates abroad. When I was preparing for the video, I finally read this thing in the passport. I've been living in Germany for 6 years and I've never registered at the embassy. So if there's anything that happens in Germany and I'm supposed to be flown out of this place to go back to Jamaica, yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah, we didn't know that you're living in Germany. So I probably should contact the embassy at some point. Another thing that's changed in the back cover is that they've punched the passport number. I guess it makes sense, but it also means that you have to be careful with your passport. So for example, just leaving your passport face down on a table, somebody could actually see your passport number. So those are the main things that change and things worthy of mention for the new passport. I'm excited to start using this thing. The first trips are coming up in September. I'm looking forward to see if just traveling with the e-passport is gonna make things any different. I think it definitely will. I think it will make a lot of things simpler, and the credibility of this document will definitely be much better in the hands of some of these police officers and border control personnel. And in a couple months there will be another video where I'll give you some experiences having traveled with this passport. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and see you in the next Jamaican Tales video.